Hello creepers, it's Violet. Welcome so much to Violet's Haunted Console. Today we're going to be reviewing Silent Hill 2 Remake. If you have never ever made a trip to Silent Hill before, I'm going to take you on a little bit of a mini guided tour through this remake. I'm so excited to talk about this. And very briefly, Silent Hill, if you have never had the honour of playing any of the games, it's a town that basically replaces therapy with puzzles, creepy ass monsters, running, and in this one, a little bit of criminal damage. You hold your hand throughout this entire trip because it could get a little bit creepy and a little bit scary, so here we go. Let's give a little bit of backstory into this remake because it was very much anticipated by the community. Let's roll the clock back a little bit. God, not that far. That's a bit better. October 2022. It was a quiet autumn day. Leaves are falling, there's a little bit of a chill in the air, and Konami announces a Silent Hill transmission. After years of the series being dormant, they announced a transmission. There was a ton of speculation leading up to this transmission. There were rumours floating around quite a little bit before the transmission that Konami and Bloober had come together and were presumably collaborating on a Silent Hill game. Now, if you're unfamiliar with Bloober, they created such masterpieces as The Medium, which I'm sure at some point I'm going to end up covering, and Layers of Fear, plus many more as well. They're all very Silent Hill-esque. Myself and the community were fully ready to put on our clown makeup again, because we have been trolled by this series so many times before. They showcased was the Silent Hill 2 remake, and what a way to start off the transmission. There was other things that were mentioned as well, such as the movie, a couple of other games, which we haven't heard anything about. In between the transmission and remake, at least we got Silent Hill Ascension. Oh, never mind.
Flash forward 2 very tense years and it actually exists.
Actually play it. So take off the clown makeup, put it away for a little bit, maybe don't throw it away because we know what Konami's like, but for now you can put it away and you can fully enjoy Silent Hill 2 Remake. Also just a moment of silence for Silent Hills. I do get asked a lot as a massive fan of Silent Hill and being surrounded by people who aren't too familiar with the series is why did they start off with the second one and not the first one? If you are super unfamiliar, this is a fair question to ask. Silent Hill 2 is considered one of, if not the best horror game of all time. And I fully have to agree with this. It really paved the way for horror games and storytelling games as a whole. The story to this is so complex and so out of the box that it really, in my opinion, changed the way that video games and horror games are created. To this very day, I still see DNA of Silent Hill 2 in quite a lot of horror games. So, I mean, why would you not start off with the second one? This is a Silent Hill cow, primed and ready for milking by Konami.
What a image, I'm so sorry.
The verdict, are we keeping Silent Hill in this realm, or is it going to go in video game hell, never to be spoken about or played ever again? The story starts with James Sunderland, our protagonist, checking himself out in the mirror. You go, James. So why are we here? It turns out your dead wife Mary, who has been dead for 3 years, has wrote a letter to James asking him to come to their special place, also known as Silent Hill. You heard me right, folks. Dead wife of 3 years. So I guess our perfectly sane protagonist is here to come and reunite with his dead wife Mary, I guess. Kind of like a twisted Super Mario. I don't know. Somebody that has played the original, I have to say, the setting is just insane. I was so apprehensive about this remake because I have played the original to death. Tiny Pea Brain has held on to every single scene from the original for many years now. I do remember all the doubt that came with Bloober being tied to the Silent Hill 2 remake, and honestly, after playing the medium and wasting many precious hours, yeah. However, getting the chance to explore Silent Hill in this kind of way, I have to say, they've really knocked it out of the park. Actually done an incredible job at creating some of the iconic scenes and also having the boldness to add brand new scenes as well. There are some of the changes which I absolutely adore, but there is one change which I'm not really the biggest fan of, and this is me being super nitpicky. For those that have played the original, we do have the iconic scene with one of the characters, Eddie and Laura, talking in the bowling alley. This is replaced with James looking through a peephole like a deprived pervert in a movie theatre. Still like the scene, but we were robbed of this iconic line.
Monsters, how can you sit there and eat pizza?
Bloober have added some new features, including a new inventory system, combining separate objects to make new ones to progress further in the game, and one of my personal favourites, criminal damage by smashing windows. Some of these are actually pretty useful, however, because if you smash some of these shop windows or car windows, you do actually find some really useful objects, such as health items or ammo, so it is actually worth creating some more chaos in Silent Hill if you want to survive. Then we have my least favourite feature of all. For those who have played the original, you will know that when you wanted to check your health, you would go into the inventory screen and James would say, fine. And then like a little, I can't remember the name of like the little, I'll put the name here. This has now been replaced by it kind of reminds me a little bit of a paint blob, and it's kind of dispersed around the screen. It's not unplayable by any means, and it's not horrible. It's just kind of distracting a little bit. And to be honest, that is just a very, very minor complaint. Look, even great games, I have to find minor flaws in them, you know? I have to make it fair. Now, on our journey, of course, it isn't just James and his boy band haircut that we meet along the way. We have a whole host of characters that we meet, including Mary, who can only communicate through radio static. You hear little echoes of her every now and then. Eddie, who we get introduced to in the apartment, puking up into a toilet, which is a really great first impression. Angela, who has one of the most heart-wrenching stories that I've come across in a video game, and for as bold as her story is, it is written so incredibly well. Honestly, I can't put into words how chin her story is. You really have to play it to experience it. We have Laura, who is an innocent child who has been caught up in all of this. She used to know Mary and she's ended up here. I really like her just for the fact that she calls James a fart face.
A fart face!
Nice work, Laura. And then we have Dead Mary with a makeover. Oh, this is a character called Maria who kind of looks like Mary, just in a completely different font. And throughout the entire storyline, scenes with Maria will just leave you saying, huh? Maria is one of my favourite video game characters of all time, and I was quite worried about how she was going to be perceived in this remake. She has kind of a different look compared to the original, but I actually really like the updated look. It kind of feels quite modern. It's the same but different. You actually get a nice little Easter egg during the motel bit where she holds up her old outfit, and that brought a massive smile to my face, and it warmed my black heart. The actress for this role absolutely nailed it. I genuinely can't remember her name, so I'm going to leave it here. She absolutely killed this. Again, I was very worried about this because the original voice acting is incredible. It feels very Twin Peaks, very almost dreamlike, but I like the direction that they went for this version of the game, and I think every single voice actor in this game nailed it. James Sunderland is played by this man here. Again, his voice performance was incredible throughout the entire game, and I think everybody just killed it. And they had really big boots to fill, otherwise I think there would have been pitchforks outside of Konami if they hadn't at least got decent voice acting. Now, while we're walking through Silent Hill, because this is Silent Hill and it's not Animal Crossing, not going to be coming across a big beefy Tom Nook. We also have a whole host of enemies that are absolutely fucking delightful. We have the mannequins, we have the lion figure, we have the spider mannequins, and of course, for all of you horny bastards, we have the nurses again. Yeah. We also have some boss fights added in there as well. I mean, I told you it wasn't Animal Crossing, like what do you expect? And this would not be a Silent Hill 2 review without mentioning everybody's favourite red pyramid thing, better known as Pyramid Head, depending on your horny level, Buff Daddy. Maybe that's just what I call him, I don't know. And through this game, you go against Pyramid Head not once, not twice, but 3 fucking times. And the third one, you have not 1, but 2 to fight. I mean, at least Pyramid Head doesn't skip on Arm Day, he just skips on any form of mercy whatsoever. Also, a couple more boss fights sprinkled throughout the game, in Abstract Daddy and then Mary/Maria right at the end of the game. And I don't know if it's just because the game is potentially a little bit easier than the original, because I remember having a bit of trouble on the original with this final boss fight, but I am going to put it down to my pro gamer skills. Just, you know, just watch this. Oh fuck, wrong click, wrong click, wrong. There are so many twists and turns throughout this story. It really feels like Konami should just stick a whiplash warning on the box. It's crazy. Even as somebody who's played the original game, the story still had me incredibly hooked throughout the entire game. I know the story inside out by now, however, I was still left edge of my seat, just wondering what was going to happen next, even though I knew this game has 6 different endings. Now, the endings are dependent on the choices that you make throughout the entire game. Some of the requirements can be a little bit hazy, so I would recommend looking it up online if you can, just to confirm some of the requirements. There are a couple which can only be unlocked after you've played through the game once, such as the UFO ending and the dog ending. The endings you do need items for, and they're a ton of fun. They're goofy endings, and I'm so happy that they kept them in. But the other requirements go off what items you examine or don't examine, how many times you heal, what items you use to solve different puzzles, and if you choose to hit Maria with a lead pipe or not. So, you know, if you lead pipe to yourself if you want a particular ending, I guess. Now, speaking of lead pipe, combat is quite clunky, which obviously if you're not used to these kind of games, it might feel a little bit off. However, the idea is quite genius. James isn't some beefcake super soldier. Looking at you, Chris Redfield, you handsome motherfucker, in expecting to mow down Pyramid Head and have it be a hack and slash. That would be quite fun. Through the story, you'll keep getting led to hints on Mary's whereabouts. I mean, take that hint, James. She's clearly not interested. All of the environments throughout this journey are executed so incredibly well. I really enjoyed exploring normal Silent Hill, and then also the absolutely batshit insane Otherworld Silent Hill as well. They were just an absolute joy to play through. Some of the areas did feel like a little bit of a slog. For example, I did feel like the apartments maybe went on for a little bit too long. And also for a first time player, you might find the labyrinth section just a little bit tedious as well. However, it's not that much of a slog where you put the game down and never pick it up again. It's not a shit slog. It's just those tiny little moments. However, I do recommend to keep playing it because the story gets so interesting. And even throughout those bits, the environments are so incredibly stunning that it's worth it just to see the environments alone. Now, along with the environments, these are complemented beautifully with series composer Akira Yamaoka. He was part of the original Team Silent, and he composed Silent Hill games, including a couple of the ones where Team Silent disbanded as well. It's incredible to have him back. I could not imagine another composer doing this soundtrack and pulling it off as well. The original is so iconic. However, I am in love with the remake soundtrack. Guaranteed to be on my Spotify Wrapped this year, I can tell you now. You know, you know, like when you just want like a little bit of a spooky walk, it just gets the blood pumping when you feel like you're being chased by Pyramid Head. And it also works at the gym as well if you get on the treadmill and just do. Anyway, overall, Bloober have really taken the bull by the horns with this, or the pyramid by the head with this one. I don't know, I was trying to make it Silent Hill related, and I would absolutely love to see other titles being made from the Silent Hill series, particularly the original ones. Bloober would do an incredible job with these. This remake has genuinely given me a lot of faith for Bloober. I'm not surprised that they pulled this off, to be honest, because a lot of their games seem very Silent Hill 2 inspired. They finally had the chance to make Silent Hill 2 and they fucking nailed it. We took off our clown makeup. Great. I don't know, but I'm going to ignore Silent Hill Ascension just for now. Like, just let us have this moment, please. But with this, I am staying hopeful that we get some updates on Silent Hill F and Silent Hill Townfall soon as well, because I am quite intrigued by those as well. I really want to see what these developers can add to the series, and hopefully we'll get some more 5-star Silent Hill titles added. You know, it's genuinely given me some hope for this series, so long as Konami do not fuck it up. Don't fuck this up for us, Konami, please. So, what is the verdict? I mean, obviously, you already know what I'm going to say. This stays in this realm because I want to play it and play it and play it until it plays no more. Right, okay, I'm done. Cool. I'm going to get back to building my Sims
No,
house now.
Violet.
Oh my god, no.
Did you really think you were done here, Violet?
Fine, what's next?
Oh, just you wait and see.
Thank you so much, creeps, for watching, and I hope you enjoyed our guided tour of Silent Hill 2. Please make sure you smash the subscribe button and give it a big fat thumbs up as well if you enjoyed the video. And let me know in the comments, did you enjoy Silent Hill 2 Remake? Did you not? Are you excited for the future of the series? Let's discuss. And I will see you in the next one. Oh, it's a doozy, let me tell you. Bye.